one shot at a time.
Welcome back to the Enjoy the Walk podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are sitting here courtside at Rams Hill, right off the 18th green, outside of their patio area. What a view this place has to offer.
Wow, I mean, really just thinking about the golf trip as a whole and then wrapping it up here at Rams Hill has been truly amazing. It really gives me chills just thinking about it. Where we've been this week, it has literally been like the trip of a lifetime. Definitely one of the top golf trips I've been on, and I've been on some pretty good ones.
There's no doubt about it. For those maybe just tuning in to us or that have followed us for a long time, obviously we've had him on the podcast twice, now for a third time. Trent Feltz, he's kind of been my chauffeur out this week, out around, picking me up around San Diego, out to the Palm Springs Golf Championship, and now out at Rams Hill. Yeah, Trent, this trip's been special.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what was your favorite part so far? I mean, can you even pick a favorite on a place like this?
I mean, I don't think you can, because each place we've stopped has its own uniqueness, and which is so special. You know, starting out, going straight to the Southern California Golf Academy and seeing what those guys are doing out there, and then going right to the Palm Springs Golf Championship, playing tour caliber courses, not just one but two different tour caliber courses, and then obviously a third out at Classic Club, and then here at Rams Hill, which I think is bar none some of the best golf in Southern California. I cannot pick one.
Yeah, I don't think I can either. I mean, they're all on a level of their own. But wow, we've been absolutely spoiled this week, and it's
absolutely
been awesome.
And we even got to play some muni golf out at the Lights at Indio.
Yeah, can't leave that out. That was a pretty cool experience last night. Yeah, the lights turned off on us as we were finishing up, but still, it was a great experience with Eric, who runs the Palm Springs Golf Championship. I'm sure you've seen a little bit of that on our Instagram and social. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, no, it was obviously my first time out, not only in the Palm Springs Golf area, but in the Palm Springs Golf Championship. So to see the style of golf that's out in that area, we took a picture near the sign, the Western Home of Golf. I can truly say they've got so much to offer out there. I can see why they've dubbed themselves the home of golf on the West Coast. Yeah,
PGA West is definitely one of my favorite places on the West Coast, besides Torrey and places like that. But it's right up there. The stadium course tore me up a little bit. Jack Nicklaus tournament course tore me up even more. There's a lot of houses out there. I found out the hard way. Didn't really put up a good number, but you played pretty well the last day at Stadium.
I was extremely happy because Stadium got my number the first day.
Yeah.
Bad. I just could not find a swing. Stadium's got, and we talked about this too, which I'm sure we'll get into. Stadium course has a way of putting tension in your arms when there shouldn't be tension. Off the tees, on approach shots, there's just no relaxation around that course. And it definitely bit me the first day. So I was happy to get back and keep it in the 70s that last day.
Yeah, I was glad to see you shoot a 76 there, right?
Yeah.
So, you started to plplay better as the week went on, and maybe that's just because you've been out in the cold, and now you come out here to, sunny Southern California, and, you're just starting to get your groove on a little bit by shooting a 71 today, 1 under at Rams Hill.
Yeah, phenomenal. I mean, just a phenomenal experience. Whether I would have shot 71, 81, or whatever, it wouldn't have mattered, but it definitely put some icing on the cake of really enjoying the time out at Rams Hill, too.
I didn't really want to talk about it when we were coming down 18, but I knew you were 1 under, and I didn't really want to put that out there. You know how it is. Like, all you got to do is make par. It's a pretty not a simple par 5. You got to hit the drive, hit the fairway.
Yeah.
And then you decided to go for it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I felt like I had to. I was hitting it too well to just lay up. There's actually some tricky little bunkering out there that made the choice for me to go for it even a little bit better. I didn't want to put one in the bunker and then struggle. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at the 18th right now. It's a big sweeping dogleg right with water all down the right-hand side, bunkering kind of in some weird areas. It's a tricky little hole.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a great finishing hole, when you get done and then you look back. And it's just the views. I mean, that's kind of how it is on every hole here at Rams Hill is the views. I mean, you get done with the hole and you look back, and then it has the mountains. I always say it's like playing golf on Mars, really, because the mountains aren't directly right there. It kind of has like this waste area forever, it seems like.
For sure.
And then, it's just it blows me away every time I'm here. Really.
It really is something where if you haven't experienced the golf out here at Rams Hill, put it on your bucket list, not just a short list. Put it on the bucket list to come out here and check it out because, in prime season when they're open and really thriving, this place is bar none, I think, one of the best golf experiences, not only in the state of California, but in the country and maybe even the world. There's not too much I can maybe even relate this place to.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely as good as you can get for a golfer. You know, it's got everything. And the greens were super fast today as well.
They had a
there
sign.
was a couple downhill putts.
They had a sign right outside the pro shop today that said green speeds, and it was a 12. Now, I know we just played Stadium Course, and I know we just played a Nicklaus Course out at PGA West. I don't know if they were running that fast, maybe about even, but anytime you run into double digits, especially up near 12, you're talking some tricky greens, especially if you're in the wrong spots.
Maybe the Nicklaus tournament course would be the only thing closest to that, but I think this was still the fastest we've played.
Yeah. I think there's no doubt about it, which made it fun. You knew you had to be in the right spots. You knew you had to hit your chip shots in some fun areas. Trent, you made an incredible chip shot today.
Oh,
he tells me before he hits this shot, Dalton, I'm going to play it way up off the hill and just see where it goes.
Because he's recording right at me, and the hill's like, you know, I'm down below, and the hill's over here, and I got to hit a chip shot all the way on the hill. You know, maybe the video will already be surfaced by now, but it was just one of those shots. It's absolutely amazing. I actually don't know how I pulled it off. I was kind of just messing around, you know, just hit it off the hill and hope. Really.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it started turning towards the hole. Like once he got it to the peak on the top of the hill, I was like, okay, that might be close. And the more and more it crept towards the hole, I'm like, oh yeah, that's going in, and he sank it. Little lip around and went right in.
Just an unreal shot. I don't know how that went in, honestly.
It's golf moments like that. You know, we didn't have too many holdouts when we were playing PGA West, but it's golf moments like that make a trip really special and a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a 1 in a million shot for sure. You know, you're not expected to make that, but if you do, it's great. If you're recording, it's even better. You know, so a lot of times those shots don't get recorded.
No,
so.
There's a lot of times where I feel like people sit in the scenario of, oh man, if only I was recording, and luckily we got it. So how cool to snag that moment out here at Rams Hill.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, are you looking forward to going back to the cold?
No, you know, I don't want to think about it. We've got 2 more days. Today's Friday. We've got a day. That's not good. We're headed back, and we're headed back all too soon. This trip has seemed to have flown by. We've done a lot of golf. I mean, it's incredible the amount of golf we've played in a 7-day span.
Yeah, we really have. And, you know, the quality of players that were in the Palm Springs Golf Championship as well. I played with the winner on the second day, and he ended up, what was it, 3 under for the tournament?
Yes, sir.
That's what it was. I do believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't quote me on it. But, yeah, you know, if you're interested in really some good competitive golf, playing in the Palm Springs Golf Championship is where it is.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing about it this year, and obviously my first time participating and being a part of all the action, collegiate players, your high-end amateur players, Cullen, who won it this year, makes appearances in the California Open consistently. And then you got players from Alberta, Canada, and just all over the place. Like it's a very diverse field and a very deep field. And I imagine as COVID kind of progresses its way out and we get back to a little bit of normalcy here, it's going to be a phenomenal field in 2021. Yeah.
Definitely. The field's not getting any easier. I've seen it go from the first year. Notre Dame, Taichi won it. And then, you know, the field's only gotten even better as the years have went on. So it's going to get tougher to win, but I think it's going to be one of those championships on the West Coast that's, you know, it's really talked about. And there's going to be, if you win that thing, you're a pretty good player.
Well, and I think, you know, it's not like you're just playing these courses in ho-hum shape. You're playing them 2 weeks before the pros get there. And Stadium Course and Nicklaus Course, we're playing firm, fast, and very tough. And it's a true test of golf. And you're getting to play these courses right before the pros come in and see how you match up to these pros. And it was awesome the whole week. They were building the signs out there, putting the stands up. Well, not stands this year, but putting some of the towers up for the TV towers. You're getting an almost tour-like experience with the Palm Springs Golf Championship, which is unlike really any other championships.
Yeah, it's truly amazing because it's almost really like the American Express, or it used to be the Desert Classic. And, you know, it's an amateur tournament that's played just like how the pros are playing it. You know, we're not playing for the big purse, but there's a lot of pride out there,
There's no doubt about it. I know every day I was going out there saying I can't let the bleeding continue, I guess is the way I looked at it. And because I was playing very bad, especially the start I got. But there's some pride out there to say, hey, I want a tournament on these courses, on these tour style courses, no matter, how well you think you played or how well you did play. If there's a W on the line, there's a lot of pride out there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And speaking of bleeding, I just kept bleeding the 3 days. There's really just no stopping it for me. I was losing it off the tee a little bit and pulling it, but still, it's fun to go out there. Yeah, it's always next year. I'm getting ready for next year already. I got it on my calendar. Next January, Palm Springs Golf Championship. If you're a serious golfer, I would put that on the list for sure. I know there's going to be some specials coming out next year. Eric really takes care of everyone. Making sure everyone has exactly the experience that they want to have, whether it be the extra amenities, and we can't really share a lot of those quite yet because he doesn't have those finalized. But there's going to be some big stuff for 2022. That's weird to say, 2022.
It really is, because we're just barely stepping into 2021 and really don't know what it has to offer. But yeah, I mean, if you guys go to fungolfvacations.com, you guys can find out all the information there. Not only Palm Springs Golf Championship, he runs some other 2-man events out there in the desert area. But especially the Palm Springs Golf Championship is a definitely a tournament unlike any other, and I think something that we can't wait to be a part of moving forward and continue to watch it grow.
Yeah, I'm so excited to play in that in years to come, like you said. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a bunch of new people out there next year.
Looking forward to it. But what I'm looking forward to is maybe one last round of golf before I go back to the East Coast. Where are we headed tomorrow, and what can we look forward to as our kind of tail end wrap up of this crazy golf trip we want?
Well, we kind of had Torrey on the plans, and then we changed that a little bit. So the only things that have changed in our trip are Muni Madness didn't happen because the COVID restrictions. So we still went out to Indio at the Lights, had a phenomenal time. And then tomorrow we're going to be going to one of my favorite courses that I play all the time, Admiral Baker. It's not on a base, but necessarily, like, it's open to the public. But it's a great layout, super fun. So I'm actually excited to see what you think of it. We have the hole number 7 there. It's dubbed the hardest par 3 in San Diego.
Oh boy.
That's debatable too, because there's a couple other ones, but it's 3-tier green, and it's basically an island where if you're not on the green, you're like 50 feet down below. So, and as well as over the back, it's just like that. So hopefully we get a front pin on that one tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I'm looking
the
forward
back
to
pin
it.
is not fun.
Just from seeing all the, I think, photography and drone work you've done out there too, it's something where I almost feel familiar with the course and some of the layouts and the holes and things like that because of the photography you've done. So I'm excited to check it out. To me, any place that I haven't played, I think, is a must play on trips like this, where I'm not, who knows when I'm going to get back out here. I've already played Torrey, so that's kind of why we've pushed that off to the side and gone somewhere new, which I'm really stoked about.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're really going to like that course. A lot of people, say a lot of good things about that place, even though it's, it's sort of one of those overplayed public courses. But it's in phenomenal shape right now. The last time I played it was a couple weeks ago. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's I'm looking forward to it, and not looking forward to so much packing up, but we'll cross that road when we get to it.
Yeah, man. It's it's probably going to be sad to see you go, but ultimately I think, it's just been one for the ages, like great memories. And we finally got to meet, we've been on the podcast talking
100%.
About meeting, golfing together, and then we're able to
This has been
together
a computer screen the last few months.
So it's cool, man. You're right there.
Amen.
But dude, it's been actually one of those trips that you're going to talk about, for years. Like, it's going to be like 5 years down the road and be like, remember when we took that trip and we played nice course after nice course after nice course after, just like, I don't want this trip to end. You know what I mean?
And it seemed endless at points. It seemed like what was next on the docket was like so far away. It was just like the amount of golf, like I just said earlier, the amount of golf we got in was absolutely absurd in a 7-day span.
So good, man. Yeah, maybe we can do it all again next year.
I'd love to run it back.
Definitely.
Awesome, man. Well, guys, again, that's Trent Feltz, kind of the quote-unquote ambassador this year of the Palm Springs Golf Championship. Really helped get the word out, and we are sitting here, like I said, right behind the 18th green at Rams Hill, just really soaking in the view, because this is something where you could sit out here, enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and not get tired of the view. So we're going to have a good voice here for Rams Hill on the podcast next. Excited for that. But until then, guys, go to www.enjoythewalkpod.com. Check out the latest merch drops from us, as some of the episodes you might have missed. And then until then, always get out there, carry your clubs, enjoy the walk. All right, guys, welcome back to the Enjoy the Walk podcast. As I said with Trent earlier, we were sitting here outside the 18th green at Rams Hill. And what a treat. I have Harry Turner with us, the general manager of the property here today. We went out there. We played today. Harry, tell us how great it is to have this view as an office every day.
You know, a smart guy told me one time that everybody's got to be somewhere. This is a pretty good spot.
This is the place to be, ain't it?
This is the place to be. It's a beautiful view. The long views at Rams Hill and all of Borrego Springs are pretty spectacular.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the way, you said all of Borrego Springs has some views. I feel like Rams Hill really puts you in a picture sometimes of these unending views.
No question. Our patio dining is just a super popular spot because of that. We're a little higher than the rest of the town, and so we look down on over the valley and into the town and up into the surrounding mountains. It's just gorgeous.
Absolutely. So my first time here was back in 2014. Obviously excited to be back here. Let us know about the property a little bit. How long has Rams Hill been here?
Well, Rams Hill has been around. I first heard of Rams Hill back in the early 80s when it was first developed. But Rams Hill has gone through several different iterations. It's gone through many owners. It's had its ups and its downs, and I think its most recent downturn in the 2008 through 2010 kind of real estate crash has created an opportunity for Terry Considine and our current owner to do something really special here.
Yeah, so talk us through that. When did the Tom Fazio redesign kind of take place and first open?
Well, the Tom Fazio redesign was a project of the previous owner.
Okay.
And, as they say in real estate, it's either location, or it's timing. Mm-hmm. And I think he had the location part right. But he, unfortunately, he came in and did a lot of this work in the 2007, late 2006, 2007, 2008, when the market just went, south in a hurry. And unfortunately, right after he opened the Fazio redesign, the market turned. And so he held on for as long as he could. But when Mr. Considine purchased the property, it was in total disarray. And golf course had been brown and dormant for for several years. The ponds had dried up. The water had gone away. The wells had been sold. Trees broken everywhere. It just it was a mess. And so he took on that. I don't know if he knew how difficult the challenge would be, but he took the challenge on head on, and I think it's now become an opportunity. And if Rams Hill is going to see Mr. Considine's vision to fruition, it's really going to be something special.
That's incredible. You would never know playing it the way we did today, and even playing it back in 2014, 2015, the struggle the property had went through. It's sort of seemed to have done a 180 since then and completely turned a new leaf as far as not only condition of the course, but just the overall condition of the property is bar none, I think, here in definitely the Borrego Springs area, and I think all of California.
Well, Mr. Considine is I think the perfect owner for Rams Hill. He's got the capital to see his vision through. He's
Mm-hmm.
got a great vision, and he has patience. And I think you have to have all three to make Rams Hill successful and see it achieve really all it can be.
There's no doubt about it. There's something to be said about a little bit of a drive and power, to push projects where they need to be. You mentioned some wells earlier, which I saw on the TV on the way in. You guys really have a leg on sustainability as you continue to move forward with the property. Talk us through a little bit of that as far as the sustainability projects that have been put into this property as of late.
Well, probably the biggest project that was completed was our solar array. We installed a large solar array, spent a couple of $1 million on over $2 million on it, and it powers all of our irrigation system for the golf course, powers all of the clubhouse facilities, our maintenance facilities, and that's probably been the largest. But as you may know, part of our ongoing plan is to build a second golf course, and one of the things that I had an idea rolling around in my head for several years, that there has to be a grass that can grow in a desert climate and not go dormant. Mm-hmm. So as you probably are aware, currently our base grass, as is all the different base grasses in the Coachella Valley, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Las Vegas, is Bermuda grass, and each fall you have to chemically induce the Bermuda grass to go into dormancy. Then you plant ryegrass. That takes 4 or 5 weeks to be playable, and you lose maybe the best month of the year because you're waiting for that ryegrass to grow in. I was introduced to several types of zoysia grass a few years ago, and it seems like Borrego Springs might be the perfect climate to try that grass, and it's being used in many areas as turf grass for golf courses. It's becoming a pretty popular grass, but it appears that our climate here is temperate enough that it will not go dormant and lose all of its color, and it will thrive in the hot weather. But one of the real benefits to it, other than not having to overseed, is it uses about 20-25% less water. And in an area that has to be water conscious, that's a big deal. And
Absolutely.
we're excited about that. I've been allowed to plant. Currently, we've got 3 different varieties growing out here in test plots, and they have been for about 2 years, and they seem to be proving out that point. So when we do start the second golf course, it's going to be in a links style, of much like, even though it's inland, but much like Mammoth Dunes,
Sure.
and the courses at Sand Valley. David McClay Kidd has been here. We've had discussions with him. And so if we can find a surface that can play firm and fast, which zoysia does, it uses less water, which it does. It uses less chemicals than the Bermuda grass and ryegrass, and doesn't go dormant. That would make Rams Hill have the ability to be a 12-month golf destination, which
Sure.
we hope to be one day.
Boy, that's incredible. I love that, you guys are kind of pushing the limits of what's possible in that, turf grass management industry. You mentioned using less water too. It amazed me, and I'm kind of curious as to what the answer to this question may be. Do you guys recycle the water that runs through this property? Because it seems like you guys have a lot of running water, sort of coming from nowhere. And is it the wells, or is it recycled?
Well, the initial source is the wells, but all of our waterfalls, if that's what you're speaking
Absolutely.
of, recycle.
Beautiful. I love that. It definitely it turns an extra notch of I think just class when those waterfalls are really going, and it pumps up the beauty of the property too.
And the pumps on all those waterfalls are powered by solar.
Awesome. So just a full end cycle of sustainability. That's really incredible. Something else you mentioned there, the second course, obviously you guys are testing and moving for. I see remnants, if you really look out kind of far enough, of an old golf course, a green here, some bunkering there. Is there any thoughts of kind of bringing back, maybe I know you said the link style, but bringing back some of those older, I guess you could call them fossils of golf courses that are currently out there?
I don't know. We've talked a little bit about that because I think there's a cool element to that. A lot of people who come here really have an interest in the discovery of lost holes, if you will.
Sure.
It's a little early to tell whether or not we will be able to use much of that. The second golf course is planned to be in that area, and so there's a possibility.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. I know when we played out there today, I kind of picked and saw a little piece here and a little piece there, and it was cool to me. I'm one of those people who loves to see all the fossils maybe turn back the time a little bit. So that's really exciting to hear, and I think a property like this, it be in talks of adding a second course, obviously down the road, is something that we as golf fans can definitely look forward to.
Well, we took a trip a couple of summers ago, and Mr. Considine is not a golfer, so it was quite a interesting trip for him. I think he learned a lot, but we took not quite a week, but we left here and we went to Bandon Dunes. We went to Gamble Sands, which is in eastern Washington, if you know that property. Then flew to the Prairie Club in Valentine, Nebraska.
Yep.
From there, we went back north and went to Sand Valley in Wisconsin.
Beautiful. And
then over to Forest Dunes in northern Michigan. All of those wonderful golf courses and destinations have a lot of things in common. One, they're around very small communities like Borrego Springs, Brewster, Washington, Bandon, Oregon,
sure,
Valentine, Nebraska, Roscommon, Michigan. And they all have great golf. Not good golf, but great golf. And they all have multiple offerings, with the exception of Gamble Sands, which is now this coming season will open the short course that David Kidd built, and they have plans for another 18 holes as well. So that at some point they will have their lodging, 18 holes of golf, 36 holes of golf, and the short course, which I think is a 14-hole short course.
Beautiful.
But the thing that we have that none of those other courses will ever be able to have, we can add another golf course, which we plan to do. We can add a short course, which we plan to do. But they can't, none of those others can add the proximity of 25 million people within a 3-hour drive that we have. And so that's something that we believe is a key to the success of Rams Hill, because it is so easily accessible for 25 million people.
Sure. Yeah, that's massive. And talking to those 25 million people, you guys have constantly already, with this beautiful one course you have, been rated top in the Southern California area. I'm imagining when those courses come to fruition, they'll be just in the same company. So that's really exciting to hear that those plans are kind of out there and starting to, as you say, test plots in the making, are starting to see a little bit of fruition. And, if we were to put a timetable on it, what would even be the outlook on a groundbreaking project like that?
Well, we already have zoning, which is a big advantage, especially in California. So that's a hurdle that we don't have to get over. But we still, as we're going through some planning for the other components of the property, we're working with the county right now on some things. But I would hope that this time next year for sure that we've at least made an announcement as to choosing of an architect, the date of groundbreaking if ground has not already been broken.
Sure.
So I can see that coming, sooner rather than later. I hate to put a timetable on it,
Absolutely.
but certainly in the next 12 to 18 months, we should have a much better idea as to when we will get started, if we can't start within that time.
Sure. No, that's exciting stuff. I know 2020 threw a curveball to everybody as far as planning and whatnot. So, like you said, it's always tough to put a timetable and things like that. You don't know what the future holds. But you mentioned lodging, and how can folks come out to this Borrego Springs area and experience Rams Hill for themselves?
Well, going to our website, ramshill.com, there's all kinds of information as to how to book just a one-day round of golf, for a foursome. There's also information on our sales team. We have arrangements with local hotels in the valley here, as well as we have our own home that we rent. We have 4, 5, 6 other homes within the community that are in a rental pool that we manage, and we put custom stay and play packages together based on what the group wants. It could be 4 buddies, 8 buddies, 2 buddies, and we can we have accommodations for all of that.
Awesome. No, that's exciting. I know we were lucky enough to kind of just be driving through today, so not too. It's unfortunate, I guess, we don't get to stay in one of your properties and truly get the full overnight experience here. But I can tell you what, from just being out here and the hospitality is by far some of the best in the country, I believe. So, Harry, I appreciate the time today, guys.
Would love to have you guys come back and really experience, the full breadth of Rams Hill, and to do that, bring 4 guys, bring 8 guys, come stay in one of our properties. Let us show you how we treat our guests. The golf course speaks for itself. I can't thank Mr. Fazio enough for creating what he's created here. I mean, it's just spectacular.
There's no doubt about it. I think between our listeners and ourselves, we might be able to find those 4 or 8 guys to fill those spots next time we come out. So, guys, Harry Turner, General Manager of Rams Hill Golf Club, truly appreciate the time.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bye.
That's the stuff. One shot at a time.